Hi, everyone. This is EstaRa with a message for you. It is Monday, August 29th, 2016. So I am going to do a brief little update and a card reading for this week. So I wanted to remind you that tomorrow Mercury retrograde actually goes into retrograde. So we've been in the shadow period for the last few weeks. So those of you who understand and know Mercury, then you know there's like usually blocks, obstacles with technology, communications, and kicking up some old energies and old stuff. And, Mercury retrograde is like a reflection period. Typically, we will reflect upon where we're going, how far we've come, and we might look back over old people in our lives, people who have, and I don't mean old people, I mean people who are long gone from our lives that we might like think about or dream about. So you'll notice by your dreams sometimes, or you'll notice just by like people calling out of the blue or an email here and there. So that's kind of interesting. So people from your past will show up and energies will show up that way. That's a typical Mercury retrograde. I have to say that I'm feeling like this is not going to be a typical Mercury retrograde. For some of us, that may very well happen, but I feel like this Mercury retrograde is going to be more about preparation for moving forward. And when people say, "Oh, reflecting on your past," I feel like that is actually truth because to go forward, you kind of need to see where you've been, right? So I feel like that is, truth. But I really do feel like we are preparing to move forward. We're also going to be dealing with some of the energies I mentioned last week, that there are some dark entities and energies that we are going to be riding through over the next few weeks. And that is going to kick up some intense healing for you, intense healing for your twin. It may kick up some insecurities, some doubts. Please, please, please stay as close to your truth and high frequency as you can. My last few videos I mentioned rose oil. Please use it. I got to tell you, when I sleep with rose oil on before I go to sleep, it's amazing. My dreams are beautiful, wonderful, light and airy. I feel relaxed when I wake up in the morning. So rose oil is positive, good energy. Use sound, whatever works for you. Please use whatever tools you have available to you to raise your frequency and vibration. It's really important when we're going through this energy, especially because we are in the time of creation. You know, um, this twin flame journey is at the point where we are creating as we go, and it hasn't, it's always been that way, except that the energy hasn't always been on our side. And what I mean by that is um time was slower, energy was moving slower, we were in lower frequency, the planet's in higher vibration, higher frequency, so things are happening faster. And so we are really seeing our creation happen. We're seeing the fruits of our creation, fruits of our labor, like show up pretty quickly. So I want to just emphasize that for all of you during this Mercury retrograde period. I will probably be blogging about it at some point over the next week or so. Although I can say that sometimes when Mercury's retrograde, I don't do very much writing because I am usually things get in the way. Blocks or obstructions get in the way. So that's interesting. And this is my first week back after being on vacation. Oh, I got to tell you, I just needed that getting away period, and I really realized that that's necessary every day. Like to find time in my day just to get away from everything. So I'm gonna start to look at my calendar and put some time in there where I can just not look at the computer, not look at emails, not do work, and just have like a good chunk a day, like a couple hours at least, where I don't do any of that stuff because it's necessary. We need to like unplug every now and then. So I didn't have phone access, which I know for some people were trying to reach me. That was really difficult, but for the most part, I loved not having phone access. It was kind of nice not to be tethered to my phone, and I don't know. We all need to take a lesson from that because it's necessary from time to time, and now and again, just to be removed from everything and everyone, so that we can reset ourselves in some ways. So that is my brief little update. And again, look inside the links here because I have a link to my blog. There's definitely information there. I was really lax about putting information out over the last couple months. I did put something out recently, um, but I would like to, go back and make sure we have information for all of you. Okay, so I pulled some cards for this upcoming week of Mercury retrograde, August 29th. Um, and um, let's see what they have to say for the next week. What is happening? Oh, a brief update on my twin. I can't stop feeling him, and I feel like he can't stop feeling me. Um, I'm sharing this with you because the energy is different than it was. I feel like how I felt when I first met him. I couldn't get enough of him. I couldn't get enough talking to him. I just wanted his voice. I just needed to email him, needed to call him, I needed to text him, and he did the same thing with me at the very beginning. And then we went through this like crisis of healing and clearing, heal, clear, connect, heal, clear, connect, whatever. And that was crazy to say the least. And I feel like ever since he's come here earlier this month, I have not wanted to be out of touch with him. But it's different. It's like a healthier way that I'm seeing it because I'm not having expectations about it. I'm just trusting it's all going to be fine. But on top of it, I also feel like with with this energy, it's like I am so pulled. When I activated my his kundalini, it awakened mine, and I want him. Like I want him in ways that I haven't felt in a long time. Like I really want to just touch him and be with him, feel him, and have that human connection to him, like more tactile, more tangible. Because I've had the etheric connection for a very long time. It's just nice to have the human piece of him, and I can't stop thinking about him. And it's funny. I thought about him a lot before. It's almost like front and center. So I feel like we're kind of reverberating that back and forth to each other's reality. So I'm sure he's experiencing that. And when I'm feeling him lately, I'm feeling him. It's like just an intensity to it. So that's where I'm at with my journey and my reunion, and I will share more with you as time goes on and as things happen. I haven't talked to him now since last week, since I've been away, and I'm missing him, and I'm hoping he's missing me too. I think he is. Okay, so let's get back to the cards. All right, let's do the divine masculine first and see what we have. And I'm going to turn over all the cards actually so that I could. So I pulled them right before I turned on the camera and had them face down, and I'm turning them over, and wow, it's actually really interesting what I'm seeing. So for the masculine card, it's the Two of Crystals. And if you look at this, now this is for this week particularly. This Two of Crystals card, you can see there's um, a girl here and a boy down here, and I'm looking at the card, and it's definitely not balanced. Two of crystals. I mean, two usually is a balance. One and another. But I'm looking at this card, and I actually feel like the masculine. It's really interesting. I'm not reading this card the way I usually read it, so I want you all to know that my readings of the cards are very different. I don't have the tarot reading behind me because I'm not a tarot reader, and I haven't been trained in tarot. But I've been guided by the Twinflame Collective to use this deck, and this deck is giving me some information and insight in different ways than I ever thought I could get from cards. So, looking at this card, I want to point out that this card is the masculine energy. This represents the divine masculine in your union, so whoever that might be for you. It could be a masculine by meaning it could be a male, or it could be a female, depending on who represents the masculine. So, looking at this card, it's a seesaw, as you can see, and or a teeter totter that some people usually say. So I look at it, and the things that I am drawn to is the fact that he over here is looking away. If you can see his face, I'm going to bring that in a little closer, and hopefully you're able to see that and sense that. He's looking away from what's up here, and he's looking at the rabbit. Oops, rabbit's there. So when I look at this card, when I look more closely at it, what jumps out to me immediately is that up here, she doesn't represent the divine feminine, this card. She represents his current life, his current situation, and what he's doing in it. Like this is what he's living, this is his life, this is his current experience. And he's looking away from it and he's looking for new opportunities. And what's interesting, I see him looking at the rabbit. And so rabbit animal totems is fertility, new beginnings, fertile imagination, if you will, fertile dream, making your dreams fertile. And I just love that he's looking at the rabbit because to me, this card really represents so much more than even we could imagine. Because, I think of my twin particularly, and I could relate him to this in some ways. He's looking at his current life and realizing I'm missing from it. There's a piece that's not there. At least that's my feeling and my perception. I don't know what his exact words are or his thoughts are, but I feel like that's for all the divine masculine. They're like looking at their life and they're like, oh, there's got to be something more. And I've been mentioning that. I think that came in a reading a few weeks back, maybe a month ago, or maybe a little bit longer. But there's got to be something more. And I truly believe that that's what the divine masculine is recognizing with all the awakenings that have been happening and all the downloads since February, particularly about divine masculine energy. Those downloads have really opened the masculine up to see something more than what he's been seeing. So I really feel like this card represents like I'm looking for something more. I'm looking for new opportunities, new openings and beginnings. So I really love that there's a rabbit. I love that he's right there looking away from his current life. So that's what that represents to me. So I don't see this as the divine feminine, divine masculine. I actually see it as the divine masculine, and this is his life currently. So I hope that helps you understand the divine masculine energy this week, which means he's going to be looking towards your direction. So those of you who haven't heard from your twin, you might be hearing from him in the next week or so, particularly because we're in Mercury retrograde, so things from the past surface. But also, if he's beginning to look outside of what he's currently living and trying to figure out his life, because my feeling is the divine masculine has been going and going and going, and typically they just go go go, and then at some point hopefully they stop and think, am I happy? Is this right for me? And there's often times that we even do that as the divine feminine. We tend to just keep going in life until something triggers us to look differently at things and change our perspective. And for the twin flames, the divine masculine experience is the divine feminine helping them to change perspective. So that's what I feel is happening for him. So let's look at the divine feminine. All right, the divine feminine card. Kind of interesting. So divine feminine card is the seeker of swords. Let's look at that. So it's, if you know the Wizard of Oz, it's the scarecrow and his arms are in different directions and so aren't the swords. Well, when I look at this card, I actually feel like for the divine feminine, it speaks to me of being confused, having some confusion kicking up, some self doubt, some of the stuff, actually, some of the stuff I talked about earlier that will be happening over the next few weeks with the dark energies. So when I look more closely at this card, if you can look at it, what really stands out for me are the two swords. And what I know about the two swords is swords typically are about mental awareness, mental acuity, mental agility. And I feel like the two swords, it's like there's an internal struggle in the mental body, not in the physical body, not in the emotional body, but in the mental body. So when I'm looking at this card more closely, it really speaks to the divine feminine being a little confused mentally. So I can give you a great example of that. For example, with my twin, he's not being forthcoming coming about certain things that are happening in his life, and I feel like he's holding back and he's reserving it. And the spirit gives me the message that there's this thing of him having like shame or insecurities about presenting certain things to me. So he's afraid a little bit. And so one of the things that I recognize is because he's a little bit afraid, it makes me doubt, it makes me question. So when I look at this card, I feel like this is about the divine feminine, kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, why am I not hearing from him the way I want to? Why am I not seeing him the way I want to? So for the next week, we're going to be questioning in our head, be more mental. And so I'm going to suggest that do whatever you can, again, to raise your frequency and vibration because we want you to get out of your head. But that being said, where is your head going? What is your head thinking about? And, I know without a doubt that my twin flame loves me. I know that inside of me. I know that on every level of my being, every cell in my body knows that. But what's interesting to me is I will still allow myself to get caught up in doubt. And it's not as much as it used to be. I can tell you that for certain, because I know many other videos that I've recorded. I mentioned the spiral of hell that I would go into. I'd start thinking and go down, 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 in the spiral of hell of thinking, 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 thinking. So forgive me for moving. I had to adjust. My back was not comfortable. So I, I think for a lot of us, we sit there and we ruminate, we overplay things in our head. And then the doubts and insecurities come up a little, and then the dark energies and entities are like around our field. They can't be in our field, but they can be around us, amplifying whatever's going on. So if you're around somebody in your life that um, is kind of negative, complains, and thinks too much. And you're in this kind of balance, but then you're around their energy field. So that kind of kicks up some energies of thinking. And then you start to think and ruminate. And then all of a sudden, the energy comes in, and there's, without your, invisible, if you will, energy comes in and amplifies that. So it gets harder and harder to not think. And if you are stuck on this programming, this thinking, 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 and overthinking it to death, that you can't move on without thinking, there's something else that you're trying to distract from. So it's really important that you look at, what is it that I'm really not wanting to do. A lot of times we'll overthink about our twin. So inside of us, we know inherently, those of us who have been on this journey long enough know that this person, without a doubt, is my twin flame. I know this. I've had all the signs, I've had the synchronicities, I've had the clarity, I've heard spirit say this is him, or I recognized him, whatever way it is that you've known inside of you. There is this part of you that just knows without a doubt inherently. You're always connected. You're never separate. The only time we seem like we're separate is in the physical level, when they're not there. So yeah, my twin does not live with me, but he lives with me energetically. He's in me. He's part of me. I'm part of him. And on a consciousness level, I can tell you that, truthfully know that inside of me, every single part of me. But there are times that I will question and doubt it. And there are times that when I do that, I'm realizing there's something inside of me in my personal life, not necessarily directly related to my twin, I will doubt. So a great example is, um, over the years I've worked on like loving myself, and that I've got down. I do love me. I really do. And I try to make choices that are best for me, because I do love my whole body and being. And one of the things I had trouble learning about was worthiness. I didn't realize how worthy I was. And I'm realizing I'm worthy. And I've been putting that out there recently, and I'm feeling it, and I'm getting it back, which is kind of cool. But I'm bringing that up because there's a part of me that would distract and be like, oh, he doesn't love me. He doesn't care about me. I haven't heard from him. If he cared about me, I would hear from him. That's my crap. That has nothing to do with my twin. So I want you to know that's your crap. Nothing to do with your twin. So when you're in that place of like, oh my God, woe is me about my twin, then really, woe is you about what's going on inside of you. What are you not wanting to face or deal with? And, sometimes it's really easy to see what it is, and sometimes it's not. And that's why there's people like me here. I can help you. You schedule an appointment, a session. We start looking at the blocks and obstacles or obstructions that you have within you that might be amplifying your separation energy, or creating fear-based energy, or creating this block that you don't realize you're using your twin relationship to block the healing that needs to happen within you. Ultimately, it's like a cycle, because you're pushing your twin away on some level. Now, are you really pushing away? Again, he's in your field, or he, she, they're in your field. They're always part of you. They're never away. But on a physical level, you push them away. And so the messages I get from spirit is, we're not actually saying go away to our twin, but our twin is with us, part of us, and our twin knows we're here to heal, and we're here to connect and understand and learn. And so while we're doing all of this, I feel like our twin is recognizing, oh, wait a minute. For example, my twin might be saying, oh, wait a minute, she's not dealing with the fact that she feels unworthy, and she has to deal with this. So I'm just going to step away and let her be in her stuff. And of course, I take it as, oh my God, oh my God. Now I'm saying he's doing this, but it's not on a conscious level and it's not on an etheric level because they're us and we are them. So in essence, they're kind of like our higher self and our guides. So we have to recognize that when they step away, it's not because they don't want to be with us. It's because they actually energetically feel the push away. And it's almost like our spirits agreed in a higher level to say, when I need to do this work, I have to do it. Otherwise, we can't be together. And so when that happens, you're going to have to do whatever you need to push me away. And I encourage you and I recommend that you look at the video about the little soul in the sun that I recorded. It's a previous video, probably a month ago, maybe more. I read it to you on the video. If not, get your own copy and read that because that will help you understand a little more about what I'm talking about. So I feel like that's what this card is about, are getting stuck in our head. So this week, and here's the interesting thing, Mercury is mental, 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 thinking, 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 and reflecting. So it's going to be easy for us to get caught in those traps. So I'm going to encourage you not to get caught in those traps. Remember who you are. Bring in that truth of who you are. And when crap comes up, it's not your twin's crap, it's your crap. So if you feel unlovable and you feel like he doesn't love you, she doesn't love you, it's not because they don't love you, it's because you don't love you. There's an aspect of you that feels unlovable, aspect of you that doesn't think that they are okay. So whatever part of that, it's time to get some healing. And if you can't do it alone, please seek help. Ask someone that you know that can help you. You can book a session with me, but there's plenty of people out there that can assist you. Okay, so let's go into. I want to make this a little shorter, simply because my electricity is going to be turned off at 9 o'clock this morning, and it's about 8:20 now. And I want to make sure this gets out for the day. They're doing some work outside, and they gave us a warning 2 weeks ago. Okay, so the third card that I pulled was about the twin flame union, the energy of union. And I want to tell you, it is awesome. I love this card. Love, love, love. Of course, I love all my cards, but I love this card. If we look at it closely, you will see a merman and a mermaid, a merman and merwoman, mermaids, in the water. They're above the water and they're playing music, and you can see all these like hearts with wings in the background up here. And you see the sun, and I feel like the sun is actually rising. I look at this, it's called the Eight of Hearts card. This tells me about the union. We are so close to union. So many of us. I really believe that you have to trust that inside of you. And the more that you don't trust, by the way, the more you push it away. Because when you don't trust, it's like the universe is like, "Oh, they want it, they're ready for union. Let's make this happen. Let's make this happen." And the person starts doubting and getting scared, and the universe is like, "Well, maybe they're not ready, so let's push the union away." So we're in control in a lot of ways. We're the navigators of it, so I want you to know that. So looking at this card, they make a beautiful figure eight, the infinity energy. And I know with twin flames, we use a lot of the infinity energy. I don't know about you, but I use the infinity symbol in a lot of my work. And a lot of what I do, I use it for healing, and clearing and protection. So I see that in this card. I also see the dancing hearts, if you will, the musical hearts. To me, it's like time is coming. We are bringing in this energy of union and infinite love, this divine infinite love. And the sun is rising, and they're not in the ocean. It's funny, they're in the ocean, but they're above the ocean in this image, in this picture. So it's like they're getting out of their emotions, and they're actually learning to navigate their emotions, both parties, both the male and female, the masculine and feminine, and they are both learning to use emotion to create. Ooh, that's the feeling I'm getting and the words I'm getting. And it also is a card of like new beginnings and coming together. And I feel like the more we heal the blocks and obstructions that we have within us, the more our twin is able to heal the blocks and obstructions within them. And the more we're able to clear the stuff within us, it reverberates into their reality so that they actually begin to clear some stuff in their reality. But it also makes it possible for them to move forward and not get caught in the trap, if you will, of their their fears. And so if we are in a really good balanced place, whatever happens with us happens to them, whatever happens to them happens to us. But because we're the aware one, the conscious one, the one that knows this is our journey, this is our path, because we're the aware one, Oh, aware one. That sounds really funny. Because of that, we have the awareness. It's really important for us to like navigate the journey by making sure we're okay, we're balanced at all times, we're healing, and we're taking care of clearing any blocks or obstructions that we might have within us first and foremost, and then between us, secondary. And I say secondary because the reality is, unless we clear our shit, we can't see theirs and we can't see ours. So I really encourage you to work on you. And that's what I feel like this whole Mercury retrograde period is, moving through the dark that I talked about earlier, is we actually have to move through the dark. We have to clear stuff out of the way so the dark doesn't affect us and doesn't attack us or interfere with us or block us in any way. And so the only way to do that is to heal and clear. So those of you who know me and have known me for a while now, you know that my journey of twin flame union, it goes like this. It's not just my journey, but all journeys. It's connect, heal, clear, connect, separate, heal, clear, heal, clear, connect, separate, heal, clear, and then union. And it's because the job is to clear ourselves, any blocks or obstructions between us. And I feel awesome about this card. So that's a beautiful reading for this week. I know that it seems a little bit heavy and some work to do with it, but honestly, it's miraculous and amazing. So I wish you all well. I wish you beloved unions and blessed unions. And I'm here if you need me, and I'm back. I'm not on vacation anymore. However, if you do email me today, I had mentioned I don't have electricity, so I will not be home all day. I will be checking email later in this evening and over the next week. So I will be available to you if you're ready for any assistance, you would like to schedule a session, or you would like to just leave me a note. I'm here, and I send you lots of love, light, and peace, and some harmony in there. And for this Mercury retrograde, I really send you some armor because I really want you to build your own protective shield over the dark energies. And your armor includes rose oil, self love, balance, peace within yourself, clarity, and one of the interesting things that's popping up for me at this present moment is another essential oil that I use that I love is frankincense, and I find that to be phenomenal, because it actually allows you to kind of have a clearer brain, clearer energy, clearer mental body. And I had a concussion a few years back from a terrible car accident I had, and it was really bad. I had trouble processing my words and saying the words that I wanted to, and I was like not okay. So I wasn't myself, and I didn't know the tools that I had around me because I've used tons of tools. I've been doing natural stuff for years, and I hadn't been to a doctor in 15 years at that point. And so I ended up having this experience where I didn't have any tools available to me. My frequency had lowered because I was really sick and not okay. I didn't have just concussions, I had neck and back injuries, and I couldn't walk. And so, all of that being said, at one point, one of my friends said, "Oh, you really should put frankincense oil on you." And I was like, frankincense oil. Oh, I have some. And it was to put it on the base of my skull, and it brought me clarity, and it actually helped me heal the concussion. So if you know anybody out there with concussions or you've had one, please, please, please get some frankincense oil. But I'm telling you that for the purpose of clearing your mind and helping to clear the mental body. So you can put it on the base of your skull. That's where I often do it. You can actually put it on the thumb and on your thumb and put your thumb to the roof of your mouth. And as you do that, it goes right into your brain energy too. But also your big toe. The bottom of your big toe represents your brain. So you can actually place it on there. I really encourage you to do that if you find that you're somebody who thinks too much and you're overthinking. If you are the scarecrow and confused this week and not knowing what to do with the mental energies, please use frankincense. And the rose oil I think is really good for the union because that's all about love energy, high divine frequency love energy. And also, I think it's going to help this twin of yours that's going to look this way, look towards us. All right. Blessings for a beautiful week. I may be back. I have another video that I want to do, and I wanted to do it on my vacation, but I did not do it, and I apologize. At some point, I will be getting that out there. There's an Arcturian balancing technique that actually was given to me a little while ago, specific for twin flames, and I want to share that with all of you. I'm hoping to get that out soon. I have to tell you, life has not happened where that's been able to happen. So I encourage all of you to have a wonderful week, and make your union happy and make it harmonious because it's coming. I feel it. Many blessings. Namaste.